and today we're going to be talking about the dating world. Now, Sauda, are you dating?
Hi, my name is Sauda. No, I am not dating. I'm single.
And we have Jordy here.
Hi, what's up? I'm in a full relationship.
And lastly, we have Lonnie. Lonnie, are you single?
I'm Lanier, and I am single, happily single.
Okay, well, you heard it from them. I am taken, so I'm not dating right now. But I have been in the dating world. And let's just say it's a little crazy out there. Okay. Lonnie, with your experience right now, have you been dating? Have you been seeing the men out there? Is it horrible? What's your take on that?
I don't know if it's horrible. I would say that maybe, I'm just not with it right now. So,
So you're not looking at all?
I am. I still look, but I'm very picky. Okay, so, it's a little bit harder for me too, because, I'll get a DM and they'll say hello and say in a certain way, and I'll be like, nah. And I just,
Yeah, that makes sense. And Sauda, since you said you're single?
Same thing. I've been on a few dates during the pandemic, and they got blocked right after.
But yeah, exactly why? Because I know there's probably men out there listening and they're like, okay, well, I was probably that guy that took her on a date. What happened? Like, why are these men not good enough for you ladies? Like, what is it that you're looking for specifically that these men are just not hitting?
Well, I'm trying to be serious. I'm trying to be in a serious relationship. And they'll just tell me straight up, they want to hit, they want to have sex with me. And I'm not for that. I value myself more. I don't want to just give myself to anybody. I want to be in a serious relationship.
I mean, that makes sense. But a lot of times you got to sit back and think. You're in the dating phase, right? Dating phase. That's really not serious. So is it wrong for someone to come into the atmosphere telling you hey, they're not looking for anything serious? You can't blame somebody for saying that.
Well, I like for somebody to be blunt with me.
You want it to grow into something serious. I feel like when I was in the dating world, that's what I'm saying. I definitely dated multiple guys. Doesn't mean I was fucking all of them. I dated multiple men because I'm trying to see who I wanted to take serious. Eventually I found him, and that's why I'm taking now. In a sense, you can kind of see it if you sit back and analyze it and dissect it, then maybe, yes, I was taking the power and dating multiple people. So I have the choice of who is better for me, because again, you can't expect every man off one conversation, oh, he's the one or he's not the one. You get me? You still have to get to know that person, especially if it's someone brand new. Now, it's different if someone from your past is trying to talk to you and you know them for years, and you know this person. So that's a completely different story. But someone brand new that's just jumping into your DMs, I honestly feel like it's wrong for you to say, oh, well, this person's not for me, because you don't know them.
No, that's not necessarily what I'm doing.
That's why it's the dating phase. You gotta go on multiple dates. You gotta feel this person out. You gotta see how they talk, what they do for a living, how they eat, all this, and see if you have a chemistry.
But there's certain things that is being said that I'm just nah.
Off the rip. So off the rip, if they're just let me see that pussy. Right, things like that. That'll make me be like, no,
I don't even want nothing to do with those.
But if it's someone that's attractive and that you could possibly be attracted to, what's the problem with that? Guys do that all the time. They go, they hit. I could have sex with whoever I want. And if that's something that, listen, I find you attractive. Okay, you want to hit? Okay, let me, let's just do it. Let's have fun. And, I don't necessarily want to be in a relationship with you either.
Right.
And when I find someone else that I want to be with later, I will let you go and I'll pick up the next one. So I don't understand. I think that we're so concerned about social norms that we don't do certain things because we're afraid of what people are going to say.
No, I don't give a damn what people think about me.
I agree with that. I think it's psychologically, as much as you say you don't care, I think it's psychologically imprinted in us. I feel like we all naturally, to some extent, care about that.
I just,
about how you
giving myself away to
I feel
everybody.
that's doubling back into this that saying of you are your own worst critic, because I do feel that I could give a fuck about what everybody else has to say about me. Or whatever about any type of situation, but as long as I know how I feel based on whatever is going on, like there's a certain sense of like security in that. I definitely do feel that, especially in the dating world. Like this is like fresh relationship, you know, I'm taken, but definitely not anything super long term, like just yet, you know, still new. I feel like this is a very new style relationship than I've ever been in. I'm usually very like casual. I'm not really, it's hard to keep me committed. I'm just very like to myself and just very like driven to like my success and like my goals. So much so that at times I get distracted in being in a relationship.
Realistically, women want men to take care of them.
Are you saying within like acts of service then?
They want a man to take care of them. So it's like, you know, we can have this conversation. Yeah, I can fulfill myself.
Do you feel like it's the majority? Most of the females that I talk to, you know, that are my age, like they're really just on some like real feminist, like I don't give a fuck, like I'm gonna have my own and he's just gonna be with me. Like,
over time, you learn, like, okay, I don't need a man to support me financially, but I do need a man that's able to support me financially if necessary.
Of course,
you know?
yeah.
But it's like, you know.
But don't you feel like that's just like your standards in choosing the person? No, like, wouldn't you choose the person who is like more inclined to favor the fact that they are financially stable rather than someone who's like just getting their shit together?
I'll be honest with you. For me personally, I don't have a problem with having a relationship with a guy that works a regular 9-to-5 job, that is, you know, doing okay,
yeah,
and that has a lot of goals, because I have a lot of goals.
Yeah,
okay.
Goals
my
keep
thing
you
is,
grounded. Yeah,
you know, I'm here and I want to get to the next step, and I want somebody to want to hustle and do the most with me,
like grow with you, but
yes,
not into you, and like that's the whole idea.
So my daughter, she thinks that she could take over the world. And, you know, it's certain things that you don't want. Like, I don't want my daughter to date someone that, she's very independent. She has a car. She has 2 jobs. She's going to college. Why would I want her to date someone that is just...
nothing. Who's at home with his mom?
She got to pick him up every time we go on a date.
Yeah, of course.
You know, it's like, it's certain things that I will want for my daughter. But at the same time, I'm dating too. So... do I want someone that I have to pick up? No.
So like in right now dating age, like if a man were honestly telling you like, hey, I need you to pick me up because or I don't have a car anymore.
So he should work on getting a job and getting a car.
But would you not like go and pick him up and like just like take that humble like answer?
No.
I'm just asking. I'm just curious.
To be like, no, we're not going to be dating. It's not that I'm materialistic because you don't have like... I am not gonna like you're taking me on a date. You need to have a car to pick me up. I'm older, so you should have had enough time to get it together by now. And my thing is, I've been through stuff. I didn't just land here and this been my life. You know what I'm saying? I've been at rock bottom 3-4 times, and I had to pick myself up, get it together. So you're telling me that someone that has had a certain type of lifestyle and whatever, and that's lived with their mom for most of their lives, and now they're moving out. So you haven't had that time to do that? For me, for someone my age, for a man that I will date at my age, yes, I think that they will need to have some type of stability. Just because how can you...
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? How can you if I'm stable right now, you know, mortgage, car payments, this, rent, whatever. It's like, you're going to come into my life and we're going to go back to the bottom. You can't, it's like, you get to a certain lifestyle. But if you're 20 and you're starting out, because you're just starting out, right? How do you see something like this? Like,
starting out in what regard?
In terms of dating and life, because to be honest with you, life really starts now.
Of course. I mean, okay, so what I can say is that once I graduated high school, my independence factor within my life was very different. It was a complete like 180, you know, like I had pretty strict parents throughout high school. They really like gave me all the opportunities, you know, to go to a 4-year and things like that. So one thing led to another. You know, here I am on 8 at the table. I'm not in college, but, you know, a small business owner, 20 in my own apartment. You know, I live with my best friend, Kelly, my girl. And honestly, like, in meeting this man, like, I've realized that, you know, I would consider myself having high standards in that whole dating realm because of the fact that, like, I live on my own. And now when I look at a significant other, it isn't just like dates or like, you know, little gifts. It's, you know, okay, if we're spending time together and we're like hungry, are we going to order DoorDash or are we going to go to the grocery store, pick up food and like cook together? And like, that's something within like my relationship now that like I cherish so much. Like I was more of a baker, but like with his presence, I'm learning how to like cook more and do like more things that like can be beneficial to just myself when I'm alone and he's not with me.
You have your shit together more than he does.
No, I think we're very like 50-50. Like I've been living with him for a little bit now and like we work in tandem. Like it's the like, look, no relationship is perfect. So I'm not going to sit here and say, hey, like put us on a poster and name us couple of the year. But what I will say is I've learned communication, like styles, like how our communication styles clash and how they work in tandem and how we can manipulate the communication to like work for each other so that nobody's feelings are getting hurt, even when we're just telling each other the truth.
Because it is hard to find someone that is going to be your person. Because I want somebody to be my person. I already dealt with someone that I didn't want to deal with. I've dealt with someone that did not want to deal with me and I wanted to deal with them. Then it switched over. He wanted me and I didn't want him. It's like you deal with so many different types of people that you like, eventually you realize what it is that you want and you're looking for that person. So when you see someone and you start having certain conversations and it's not clicking and it's not your vibe, right? You just be like, nah, this is not him, this is not him, this is not him. So, then, you know, you can have, I dealt with someone that was my fuck buddy for a really long time. Just because I really wasn't interested in having a relationship.
Now, I have a question for you.
Okay.
That fuck buddy that was your fuck buddy for a really long time, would you always like go back to him?
Yes.
Like, yeah, because I'm like that too. I feel like it's hard for you to like go fuck somebody else and just go back to that same one.
But it was really good sex. So, you know, but the thing is, he's very toxic. He's crazy. And, you know.
But he's just for the sex.
But, you know, it was just sex. And then we tried the relationship thing and it didn't work just because it was just sex. And, you know, it was that type of person that the sex was so good that you kept going back to it. So, and that did stop me from being in a relationship with maybe good people.
That does stop you.
But it's fun while you know, just keep doing it until you dance, until you find your person. So, Soda, maybe you should try that.
Well, I never said I was celibate. I mean, I do have a fuck buddy.
Okay, so that's fun.
I do.
I love it. She's like,
I do. I'm very low key. I'm very secretive. I've been dealing with him for almost a year. He's cool, but he ain't for me. He's not for me. No, he's not relationship.
So what makes him good to be your fuck buddy and not your partner?
It's good. It's good. It's good.
Okay.
That's about it. I mean, we're cool with each other. We vibe out. We could laugh. We could crack jokes. But he's not the type of guy I'm looking for. He's very like, he's a cheater. Let's put it like that. He's a cheater. He's not looking for anything more than just that. So that's all I use him for. But I'm dating. I don't want to be humping on everybody. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to find somebody that I could just like.
So don't you think that if you're dating and you find someone that you're attracted to and it gets to the point where you guys want to have sex, don't you think that sexuality would maybe make you want to explore relationships with certain people? Because I think that that's something that, like, sometimes we think, okay, like I'm talking to someone because being sexual with someone builds a connection. Mm-hmm. So if you go on a date several times and you think you're cool, don't you think that having like a sexual encounter will build some type of connection within each other, or type maybe
Sometimes.
relationship?
Sometimes. I mean, the guys that I've been dating, they just couldn't. I didn't want them. I didn't want them.
I just have a question. I'm just literally just curious, but do you feel like in having like a fuck buddy, like when you are actually like going on dates with like other people, is like sex just like completely ruled out because like you're already set on like being sexual with that like other person?
Maybe that's what it is. Then maybe that's probably what it is. But these guys that I'm meeting, it's just like they're not doing it for me. They're not doing it for me. Like we're not clicking.
Never
The
settle
chemistry
your
is not on point.
standards. Yeah, never settle.
But do you think that now women are being too judgmental into like what they want? And like,
You want to say you was picky.
I am, but that's just me. And I have.
So then that's just every woman. Like I
Not
feel like a
necessarily,
lot of women
but
are
there
picky
are women
though.
that do have very high standards. And like we have heard on social media, that might not necessarily be what you need. Some people want a man that takes care of them, supports them, but if you can't take care of yourself, how are you looking for a man to take care of you? So maybe some standards need to be lowered in order for us to be able to find the
right person.
Yeah, so there's this idea of like dating, but without the intention of having this man be like your form of security, whether it's like in the financial or the domestic living or whatever. So like these women who have high standards, so like honestly, that's just this attraction to abundance, whether it's like money or like gifts and stuff like that. So like honestly, like how I feel like I kind of like fulfill myself is within like loving myself in the ways that I know that I want to be loved, so that even if my significant other is falling short on that spectrum, I am still carrying myself. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm still loving myself, so I am never feeling forgotten about. You know what I'm saying? Like there's this idea of like, you know, women needing like a man to like support and just like be their like rock, but like ultimately like you are your anchor, and like as long as you can provide the most of whatever the fuck you want, like he is just an additive. You know, he's just a beautiful, wonderful additive. Like I'm not trying to downplay him at all, but you're beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Like abundance is yours regardless.